The next is a bird-like idol. Can you go, Teresa, next? Yeah. His name is Horus, or in the Egyptian culture, they call him Ra. So he's a Ra god. He's like a hawk-headed man. So if you study him, he is more like connected with the sky and sight, like a vision, and being above, like something is from the heaven. He was watching everything and having a divine vision. So he is like a more supernatural kind of behavior. But when you study his temple, when you study his people, when you study him or about him, he was false. It's all false spirituality and a spiritual pride. And you can see even those things in the church now is corrupted. Like the people who want to find out their future, astrology, like the palm reading, this is all associated with that. Even in the Hindu culture, you say like when they have the weddings, so before wedding they want to see the horoscope. So this is associated with this kind of God. And looking for a secret knowledge apart from God. So they want to find out, even God has a plan for everybody, no matter what. But when they have a plan, they want to find out their plan themselves, and which is apart from God. So it is usually a spiritually deception. So people are very much corrupted in this kind of like behavior. And then you can see what the biblical pattern is. Worship change from the creator to created things. So you can see the God created heaven and God created all those stars and God created everything. So people start worshiping them, as the Paul is saying. And next is an animal-like idol, and which is Epistle or golden calf. We know that it is also from the book of Exodus 32. So if you go to New York City, you're going to see that there too. It's on the street like a bull. So what it shows a powerful economy. It shows a strength. It shows a provision. And it is also connecting with the farming. Farming was the money at that time and survival. Because at that time they were thinking, oh, Moses is not going to come back. How are we going to survive? So we have to worship something else. And they start worshiping him. Even Aaron made him. And the people or who believe in him or who has a desires like that, they are lover of money mostly, or they are lover of prosperity. It was never in the church, even I think the last 125 years, it was never in the church the people want to have a lot of money. It is something new, a very new thing, because it was actually adopted by someone who was not even belong to church. Even now, those people, they don't belong to church. So they have a sensual living and pleasure seeking. They want to just seek the pleasure. And they celebrate everything without the holiness code of God, which is a moral code. And that's why we see that in Exodus chapter 32, verse 6, that the people get up early the next morning and sacrifice the burnt offering. After that, they celebrate with feasting and drinking. They indulged in the pagan revelry. So this is just to worship that, how the people were changed in one night even. Even in the one night, the whole congregation of Israelites were changed when their leader Moses was talking to God. And the next one is a reptile. He's like a snake. He's creepy. And that symbol is a hidden power. It's a very dangerous, and cleverness. It's connected to death, because serpent is connected to always death because of his venom. And a secret knowledge, because everything is hidden there. His behavior is deceiving people, like you see that deceiving happen in the Genesis 3. The serpent came. And this is like so much involved with the sorcery, like the witchcraft and fear-based control. And all of them, they have one thing, is a moral corruption. All of those gods. And then the next one we'll go and see. Lisa, go next. A very different topic, and I'm going to share with you too. This is Arabs' idols before Islam. So Arab was full of idols. And I just wanted to share their property, their behavior, and you're going to see what's happening today. that particular idol, they call it. And this particular idol was called that he is the main idol of Kaaba. There were so many idols there, but this was the head idol. And it is some of the sources they call him Allah too, Hubal, some of the sources. But it is off from I get this all information particularly from the internet, so anybody can see that, what I'm going to be trying to show you today. This particular god of Arabia, it considered as a God who created the heaven and the earth. And when you go and see this place, particular Kaaba, that was called as the main god, and the people worship also other different gods with them. And I'm going to quote like couple of Quranic verses. In Quran 29:61 says, if you ask them who created heaven and the earth, subjected to sun and moon, and they will surely say Allah. So Allah created everybody, right? So they think this was the idol who created everything. There is like a very confusing verses also, because the way this idol was, it has an idol who was called to be the biggest one, but his size was like this palm size, but he was still considered as the biggest one. So the people just don't worship him. They also worship whoever the idols were, like beside him. And even Quran quote that those who take protectors beside him, we worship them so that they bring us closer to Allah. This is Quran 39:3. And they didn't deny Allah, right? And then you can see all those, if anybody want, I can share with you. But this is very important to understand, to learn the whole thing, what happening was at that particular place. Okay, there was, what was the role of that particular god or idol, Hubal? The main idol in Kaaba connected with the deviation using arrows and diced thing. So that when the people worship him, they have arrows and they mark something on the wall and they throw that arrow, and they said, oh, if Hubal want us to have that, the arrow is going to strike that particular place. Or dicing mean they have like the way we do the Ludo. So they dice it, they ask a number, and that's the way they have it. So, but this particular god has a very different behavior. It was superstitious practice and trying to control. So fate is like a luck, and also making decision by changing instead of truth. Look at this. Making decisions by chance instead of truth. So he was always manipulating, he was always changing. And trusting in control or false destiny. I'm going to repeat it. Trusting in control. Look at the wording is used. I didn't use it. This is available online. So if you want to study that particular identity, it's like that. And false density. Then in the same place there was another god. Her name was al-Lāt. When you say al mean is in Arabic is the. It's like a definite article. So that goddess of fertility and the earth. So this particular goddess is for fertility and the earth. Some of the sources says these are the daughters of that particular god, Hubal. One of them is al-Lāt. His behavior was sexual practice in worship. So when they worship, they do the sexual practices there, depending on the nature of gods for the provision. And ritual, look at this one, ritual focused on crops and prosperity. All the rituals are focused on crops and prosperity. The next one is al-Uzzā. That particular goddess was of power. Look at this one. That particular god was for power, war, and protection. And his behavior was violence and tribal fighting. That was his behavior. He's trying to win battles through spiritual forces. Did you see everybody who is working in that particular worldview, from Nabil Qureshi, from I'm going to give you a couple of names, Dr. Vance and JD, all of them died with cancer. So it says this particular goddess has a spiritual forces to fight and human sacrifice. So they do also human sacrifice there. I'm just giving you like the one which is very popular and connected. There are so many of them. And the next one is Manāt. Maria, next. There is next. No? Maybe I put it. Should be here. Okay. I think I forgot to put her slide. Her name is Manāt. So her behavior is like believing that nothing can be changed. It means they don't take any kind of responsibility. Thinking life is controlled by blind faith. It means everything is already written and everything is happening, whatever is written. You don't need to be worried about it. Ritual, one of them, his ritual was, look at this one, shaving the head and pilgrimage linked to the destiny, Hajj. So there's a couple of more, but if you just study around you the different worldview, and you can see those people are the behavior that particular God has. They are living like that. So that's why we have to think about how we have to live, which God we have to choose. Sometimes we are even worshiping the Lord Jesus Christ, but we are still going back to those idols. And it could be any idol. So idolatry is worshiping one God beside the true God, or different God images. And that particular people keep on fighting, always fighting. You can see the history of those people. You can see they have a very corrupted sexual immoralities, not just with the woman, but also with the man and the kids. And these all things are very alarming, very alarming. And what is a message for us today? When our God is teaching us a very different humanity. He is saying if somebody is taking your coat, you just give it to him. He is teaching us if somebody asks you money, you give it to him. He is teaching us if somebody wants you to go with him 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. He is teaching us if somebody is slapping you on one side, turn your other cheek towards him. So you can see if we worship a God which has his own behaviors, how that particular person is keep gonna changing. As a church, we have this job to tell the people truth, no matter what, because truth has a power, and that power makes people change inside out. Amen. So we will continue next week, and I will invite Pastor Gabriel Lewis for the benediction. And if somebody want to have something to say, we can talk after this.